Do you trust vaccines? Do you know how they work and how they are made? Have you heard the rumor, or rather the myth, that vaccines are the root cause of autism? Or is this your first time encountering such claims? I still remember the day the concept of vaccines was introduced in my microbiology class. The idea of injecting live attenuated or dead microorganisms that cause serious diseases into my body didn't sit well with me. That was until I understood how the human immune system works. But even now, there's a part of me that's not entirely comfortable with it, despite knowing and understanding the science behind it. So do vaccines work in preventing diseases? Scientifically, they do. But what's the catch? If you're curious about all this, sit tight as we explore the topic. I am V, and welcome to the best health channel on YouTube, where we talk about everything related to your health and well-being. In today's video, we will talk about the concept of vaccines, how they are made, how they work, the types of vaccines, the common and uncommon side effects of vaccines. We will also try to debunk the myth of vaccines causing autism. And from there, we will briefly talk about autism and the real causes. Before we start, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to support me. First, let's get a clear understanding of what vaccines are. Vaccines are essentially biological preparations designed to provide immunity against specific infectious diseases. They contain agents that resemble the disease-causing microorganisms. These agents could be weakened or killed forms of the microbe, its toxins, or one of its surface proteins. When these agents are introduced into the body, they stimulate the immune system to recognize them as threats, produce antibodies, and remember them for the future. This way, if you're ever exposed to the actual disease, your immune system is prepared to fight it off effectively. Now let's dive into how vaccines are made. The process of creating vaccines is meticulous and involves several key steps. First, there's the antigen generation. This is where scientists produce the substance that will trigger the immune response. It could be a weakened or inactivated virus or bacteria, or a protein or toxin derived from the pathogen. Next, we have the isolation and purification phase. Here, the antigen is isolated and purified to remove any contaminants, making sure it's safe and effective. But is it really safe and effective? This step is crucial because any impurities can affect the vaccine's safety and efficacy. Think of it like refining a raw material into a pure, usable form. Once the antigen is purified, it moves on to the formulation stage. This is where the antigen is mixed with other components to create the final vaccine product. These additional ingredients can include adjuvants, which help boost the body's immune response, preservatives to keep the vaccine stable and safe for storage, and stabilizers to ensure the vaccine remains effective over time. Imagine the meticulous mixing and testing that goes into ensuring each vaccine dose is just right. By now, you might be wondering how these vaccines actually work once they're in your body. When you receive a vaccine, it stimulates your immune system to produce antibodies, just like it would if you were exposed to the disease. Your body is designed to fight any foreign substance that enters, just to protect you. So you have very tiny little white soldiers fighting for you every second of your life. These antibodies are your body's way of remembering the pathogen and being ready to fight it off if you encounter it again. It's like giving your immune system a training exercise, so it's ready for the real thing without you having to suffer through the actual disease. But hold on. Why am I always getting the flu if I've had the flu many times? Shouldn't my immune system remember it and fight it next time it enters without making me sick? If you want to know the answer, let me know in the comments section so I can make a video about it. Now that we have a solid understanding of what vaccines are and how they are made, let's dive into the different types of vaccines. Each type of vaccine is designed to teach your immune system how to fight off specific pathogens effectively. Live attenuated vaccines. First up, we have live attenuated vaccines. These vaccines use a weakened form of the germ that causes the disease. Because the germ is weakened, it can't cause illness in people with healthy immune systems. Does that mean it can cause illness in people with weakened immune systems? Examples of live attenuated vaccines include the MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, and the chickenpox vaccine. These vaccines are particularly effective because they closely mimic a natural infection, providing strong and long-lasting immunity. Next, we have inactivated vaccines. These vaccines use the killed version of the germ that causes the disease. Oh, I like this one better. I prefer them weakened. Unlike live attenuated vaccines, inactivated vaccines cannot replicate, so they can't cause disease. However, this also means that the immune response might not be as strong, so multiple doses are often necessary to build up and maintain immunity. Examples include the polio vaccine and the hepatitis A vaccine. Now let's talk about the newer mRNA vaccines. These vaccines use messenger RNA to instruct cells in your body to produce a protein that triggers an immune response. This protein is similar to one found on the surface of the virus, such as the spike protein of the coronavirus. Your immune system recognizes this protein as foreign and mounts a defense against it. The mRNA vaccines are groundbreaking because they can be developed quickly and have shown high efficacy. The COVID-19 vaccines by Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna are prime examples of this technology. Another category includes subunit, recombinant, polysaccharide, and conjugate vaccines. These vaccines use specific pieces of the germ, like its protein, sugar, or capsid, a casing around the germ. Because these vaccines use only specific parts of the germ, they provide a very strong immune response that's targeted to key parts of the germ. They are also suitable for almost everyone, including people with weakened immune systems and chronic health problems. Examples include the HPV vaccine and the hepatitis B vaccine. If you are female and over 18 years, this is a reminder to go get your HPV vaccine. Lastly, we have toxoid vaccines. These vaccines are used to protect against diseases caused by bacteria that produce toxins in the body. Toxoid vaccines use a toxin made by the germ that has been inactivated. This means the inactivated toxin, called a toxoid, can't cause disease but still prompts the immune system to create antibodies. Examples include the diphtheria and tetanus vaccines. Next, we'll discuss the common side effects of vaccines, which are often misunderstood and can cause unnecessary concern. But before that, if you haven't liked this video yet, this is a reminder to do that. Oh, and do not forget to subscribe. Now that we've covered the different types of vaccines, let's talk about their side effects. Understanding these can help demystify vaccines and alleviate some common concerns. First, let's address the common side effects. Most vaccines cause mild temporary side effects as your body builds immunity. These can include local reactions. The most frequent side effects are at the injection site. You might experience pain, redness, or swelling where the shot was given. This reaction is typically mild and goes away within a few days. Systemic reactions. Some people might experience more general symptoms like a low-grade fever, fatigue, headache, or muscle aches. These symptoms usually resolve on their own within a couple of days. They're signs that your immune system is responding to the vaccine, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. While most vaccine side effects are mild, there can be more uncommon and rare reactions. It's important to note that serious side effects are very rare, and the benefits of vaccination far outweigh these risks. However, being informed is key. Allergic reactions. In rare cases, people can have allergic reactions to a vaccine. These can range from mild to severe. The most severe type is anaphylaxis, which is a rapid allergic reaction that can be life-threatening. Anaphylaxis to vaccines occurs in about 1 in a million doses. Fortunately, healthcare providers are trained to treat these reactions quickly. Febrile seizures. Young children might experience febrile seizures, which are seizures caused by a fever. These can be scary for parents, but are generally not harmful and do not lead to epilepsy or other long-term health issues. Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS. This is a rare condition where the body's immune system attacks the nerves. There have been very rare cases where people develop GBS after vaccination. The risk of GBS after vaccination is much lower than the risk of getting GBS after natural infection with diseases like influenza. Now that we've covered the types of vaccines and their side effects, it's time to address one of the most persistent myths, the idea that vaccines cause autism. This misconception has caused a lot of unnecessary fear and confusion. So let's set the record straight. The origin of the vaccine-autism myth. The myth linking vaccines to autism began with a now debunked study published in 1998 by Andrew Wakefield. Wakefield's study suggested a connection between the MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, and autism. This study was later found to be fraudulent. Wakefield had manipulated the data and violated ethical guidelines. As a result, his medical license was revoked. Numerous subsequent studies have thoroughly investigated this claim and found no link between vaccines and autism. Evidence against the vaccine-autism link. Extensive research has been conducted to examine the potential connection between vaccines and autism. Major health organizations like the CDC, WHO, and the American Academy of Pediatrics have all conducted large-scale studies involving hundreds of thousands of children. These studies consistently show no link between vaccines and autism. For example, a 2019 study involving over 650,000 children in Denmark found no increased risk of autism with the MMR vaccine. The role of genetics and environmental factors. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is a complex condition with multiple contributing factors. Research indicates that genetics play a significant role in the development of autism. If one child in a family has autism, there's a higher chance that another child in the family will also have autism. Genetic mutations and hereditary factors are strongly associated with the disorder. Environmental factors also contribute to the risk of developing autism. These can include advanced parental age at the time of conception, so it is advised to give birth to all your children while you are still young, prenatal exposure to certain drugs or chemicals, and complications during birth. However, it's important to note that no single factor causes autism. It's the result of a combination of genetic and environmental influences. Understanding the origin of this myth and the overwhelming evidence against it is crucial for public health. Vaccines are vital in preventing infectious diseases that can have severe or even fatal consequences. Misinformation can lead to vaccine hesitancy, resulting in lower vaccination rates and the resurgence of preventable diseases. In summary, the claim that vaccines cause autism has been thoroughly debunked by extensive scientific research. Autism is a complex condition influenced by genetic and environmental factors, not by vaccines. By understanding the true causes of autism, we can better support those affected and continue to protect our communities through vaccination. Now that we've debunked the myth that vaccines cause autism, let's dive deeper into what autism actually is. Understanding autism can help us appreciate the real factors that contribute to this complex condition. What is autism spectrum disorder, ASD? Autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a developmental disorder that affects communication, behavior, and social interaction. The term spectrum reflects the wide range of symptoms and severity across individuals with autism. Some people with autism may have significant challenges and require substantial support, while others may lead relatively independent lives with minimal support. Symptoms of autism can vary widely but often include social interaction challenges, difficulty understanding and responding to social cues, making eye contact, and forming relationships, communication difficulties, delayed speech development, trouble maintaining conversations, or an unusual use of language, repetitive behaviors, engaging in repetitive movements or routines, such as hand flapping, rocking, or lining up objects, restricted interests, intense focus on specific topics or activities, sometimes to the exclusion of other interests, sensory sensitivities, over or under reactivity to sensory input, such as sounds, lights, textures, or smells. These symptoms typically appear in early childhood, often by age 2 or 3. However, the severity and combination of symptoms can differ significantly from one individual to another. Real causes of autism. While the exact cause of autism is still not fully understood, research points to a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Let's delve into these contributing factors. Genetic factors. Autism tends to run in families, indicating a strong genetic component. Specific gene mutations and variations have been linked to an increased risk of autism. Some genetic disorders, such as Fragile X syndrome and Rett syndrome, are also associated with autism. Environmental factors. Certain environmental influences during pregnancy and early development can increase the risk of autism. These can include advanced parental age, prenatal exposure to medications or chemicals, and complications during birth. It's important to note that these factors do not cause autism on their own, but can contribute to its development in combination with genetic predisposition. Understanding autism and its causes helps us provide better support and resources for individuals and families affected by the disorder. By focusing on the real causes, we can move beyond myths and misconceptions and work towards a more inclusive and supportive society. So, do vaccines cause autism? What do you think? Do you believe Andrew Wakefield was right? Or was he fraudulent, as the evidence suggests? For me, I don't really know. But I believe there's a little bit of truth in every lie and a bit of lie in every truth. While it's crucial to question and seek the truth, it's equally important to base our conclusions on solid evidence and scientific consensus. So I challenge you to think critically and look at the evidence. Stay informed, ask questions, and always seek out reliable sources of information. Together, we can dispel myths and ensure that our communities stay healthy and protected. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below, and let's continue this important conversation. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay healthy.